What's up, mechanics? Happy Tuesday. Welcome back to another episode of Tool Tuesday here at the Vim Tools headquarters. We haven't had a normal episode in a few weeks. We had, holidays, New Year's. We did the Hot Wings challenge.
We did do that.
But we haven't sat at this table for quite some time.
Sucked with the capital S. I hated that.
You know what?
I hate it.
You're Spanish. Like, you're supposed to be okay with spicy food.
And I didn't like it. It was not a fun time. That's not spicy food. That's, like the guy said, that's battery acid. that shouldn't be like something that you serve for fun.
You should try the beef O'Brady's nuclear.
So even though
that was nothing.
Even though you were okay with it, you'd get that as just an enjoyable dish.
No, I wouldn't order
That's
that.
my point. Why?
I would not order that just to eat, but
like it wasn't fun.
It wasn't too much.
I mean, it was a lot.
It wasn't too much. Okay, so
if they served me hotter than that at Beef O'Brady's, I think I'd hit somebody. I'd hit the
No,
waiter.
dude. First of all, that was Buffalo Wild Wings. The Beef O'Brady's nuclear is like way hotter.
Yeah,
than that.
and I would grab it and I'd go to the waiter and be like, right in his eyes, and be like, no, that's what you want to do. That's what you want to do.
They served that to me accidentally once.
See, that's a lawsuit. That's what
And
that is.
I was eating it and I was crying, and Cody was like, "Bro, why are you such a bitch?" I was like, "I'm telling you, this shit's hot." He tried one and
I'd have problems. I'd be seeing everybody in that place. Nobody would leave unscathed.
Anyway, so what we're doing today is an electrical day. All electrical related tools. We have more than this, but we figured this is what we'll highlight. We don't like throwing too much on the table at one time because then the episode's going to get pretty long. But we do have a couple things that are brand new. Some things that we've had in our line for quite some time. Especially this. This has been around forever.
Since before we've been around.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple. The Meg 20. It is a wire runner, as you can see. And the cool thing about it is that the back of that wire runner actually comes undone right here. This untwists so that you can easily connect another one of these if you choose to have two or buy two. Both these tips are removable so that you can insert this male end into the female end of another one of them and make a super long one. They are 20 inches as they sit. They have the loop, which is this guy right here. You can see it. The little loop here, so you can connect your wires to it, obviously. And then the other end is a tip, so you can
it's bullet shaped, so you could penetrate through like rubber boots, grommets, and wire loom wraps. And
bullet shaped.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to describe it. That wouldn't have been what I chose, but it works.
It is. It's bullet shaped. So it makes it easy for you to penetrate through those things like that. And obviously, it comes with two of these loops in the packaging. So
and it has a pretty thick
you have a replacement
rubber coating on it, so that you don't have to worry about it catching on a lot of things, because it's super smooth.
Spring loaded. And so this is ideal pretty much for anything. Marine, aviation, home,
We've used it
auto.
all ourselves, honestly, for that. But what it does is that it's bendy enough to allow you to get into some really weird angles, but it's still stiff enough to shove it without having to worry about it just going and crumbling up. So I think obviously it's been around for 20 plus years. It's worked. It works for us.
It's one of those things that we never talk about, and it always consistently sells. It's like something that's in our line that we don't show often, but it is one of our best sellers.
By nature, we're salespeople. So also, if there's a product that is selling on its own but doesn't gain any more traction by you talking about it all that much, it's hard to talk about it a lot. But that doesn't mean we should penalize you and not show you all we have to offer, which is why we're going to try to show some more products that we don't talk about as often on these shows this year.
Yeah, so let's work our way down the line.
That is a Meg 20.
Let's start with this guy. This is the newest one.
Start with there.
Oh, you want to go old to new?
Yep.
Okay, this is a WS55. These are work shears, and they're pretty strong. You can cut through pennies with this thing, so copper's not a problem. Pretty much most wires you'll come across while working in your daily job.
You say battery cables?
Battery cables.
Battery cables. No problem.
And we used to have them in red. We updated them to green. And again, this is part number WS55.
Really, any cables that you come across as a mechanic, or really anything you got to cut, short of a metal bar, this should do the job. They are a great pair of shears. You do need a little bit of beef in your hands to get to some of that thick stuff, just because they are short. They bite, but it's not a ton of leverage. So they work great. They have a little plastic sheath, and they don't take up too much space. So we have a longer pair that are great, but they're fucking 15 inches long.
Yeah, that longer pair is meant for cutting through like seat belts.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why you need more than, well, not just seat belts, but yeah, that's why you need more than one pair. That's why there's a specialty type of scissors and then the general scissors. These are more specialty.
Next, okay. Which this I know that this is the WSC7. This is the WS57. So both are the same.
Always gets me. These part numbers for three of these always get me.
These are both 5-in-1 pliers. So it's a wire cutter, a wire crimper, a stripper, and it crimps insulated and non-insulated wire. So that counts as 2. That makes 5-in-1 plier. This one is stamped steel. This one is forged. So this one is obviously a lot harder steel. It's going to stay sharper a lot longer, so it's not going to dull out as quickly as this one. We've had this one for
a long time.
Longer than I even know. I think 10 years plus. It's been in Vim Tools line. And so we had just updated it to a forged version because that's a more premium quality. So you have this one which is a polished finish, and then this one which is like a satin and a green handle. So WS57 and WSC7.
Yes. Now, like we're doing with a lot of our products, as you've seen, and we'll talk about that more along this year in this show, a lot of our items have a premium version and then an economical version. So you have a version that if you think tools are too expensive these days, you have that option. You also have one if you want to pay for quality, you have that option. So there's going to be both ends with a lot of our products. For instance, our new dual drive spring-loaded 6-point socket sets that are swivels. We have the spring-loaded dual drive version, which is obviously a little bit more. Putting the spring in those sockets individually is not a cheap, scenario. And then we're going to have the economical version that is just a regular swivel that's stubby. So what you're going to see with our line more and more is that you're going to have options, is what I'm trying to get at. And I think that'll work for everyone because, of course, for some people, they're not. Our tools are not the cheapest priced tools. They are a high quality tool and they're not inexpensive to say. So we also have a more economical version for those of you who, still want to save some dollars but still get a decent tool.
Yeah, and kind of what happened is that we've had a lot of products in our lineup that have always sold well, and we want to keep it that way. But so what we did was, in order to make them better, we've added a few features to a lot of them, but kept the old style so that is the less expensive. And then the new one with added features like the springs or the dual drive, or it being forged steel instead of stamped. So we've added features on, but also kept the older products that are a little less expensive.
So they're still high quality. It's just you said it perfectly. The extra features to make the tool more useful is what we've added on to some of the stuff that's made them a little bit more expensive. But we still have the high quality, more simple version of products for those of you who don't want those extra features.
Yeah. Next.
All right. These next two products, I'm sure you've seen them before. WCT5 and the WCT7. These guys. Now, these are electrical harness disconnect pliers, as you can see by the jaws. I want to make sure you can see it well. They are spring-loaded, as you can tell from this, to make it super easy to remove those electrical harnesses. They are thinner than what you've seen out there on the market, which makes them easier to reach into those tighter areas where those electrical harnesses could be located to pop them off. Now we have the spring-loaded straight set that is 7 inches. People have like this one. We also have the solution to needing a right or 90 or 45 degree angle plier, because with this you have every angle that you need between 180 degrees. Boom, boom. So you can get to really any spot that your hand can get into with these bad boys. They're also spring-loaded. This is part of our bionic finger family of tools. We have, 5 of these now? 4 or 5 coming?
Yes, there's 2 that we haven't shown here. Oh. That I think one just got into stock.
One did just
today, actually, just landed at port.
I think it came in yesterday, like here, Tampa. So we do have, that's actually fun, we can talk about that next week. But we do have a new product for you next week in this family, but for now, this was the newest as of yesterday of our bionic finger family. This is a WCT5.
The WCT5, and
WCT5.
They're called finger pliers. You could also call them pincher pliers. It makes sense because you literally just pinch with them. And those jaws are spring-loaded, just as those are. So it's really easy, useful to use, especially in tight places, because if your hand fits, so does this.
Well, the cool thing is that a lot of mechanics have front pockets. Why don't you stick that guy right in there, Mikey? Bloop. Use them on a daily basis, all day. That's where they belong. Accessible.
So, like I said, there wasn't a lot of products for us to go over in this category. We do have more, and we'll probably do a part 2 for next week, including the other 2 variations of the finger pliers, which also fall in the electrical category, actually.
One and...
Both of them do.
The 2 new ones?
Yep, both of them do.
But we don't have the 2 new ones. We have 1 new one.
Well, we're going to check. We might have both.
Okay.
But if we have both, we'll show both. If we only have one, we'll only show them one. No more sneak peeks.
Yeah. No
At least not as many.
No cheating.
At least not as many. But we do have some questions. So before we get into questions, we've had a few people call in recently because they've been having a problem with some of the HBR ratchets. When I say a few, I mean, it hasn't been a lot. There's been a few people that have had problems with the bits falling out of our HBR 3, HBR 5, 8, HBR 1046, whatever it be, HBR 400K or RFE 400K. And they're ordering head kits thinking that will fix a problem. And so we did a little bit of an investigation and we figured out what it is. So, as you can see in this video, the retaining ring can sometimes become loose. And what you need to do is, it's very simple. Just grab what I did was a mini pry bar, pulled the retaining ring out, just pinched it a little and got it tight again, reinserted it, and problem fixed. So no need to submit a warranty claim or get a head kit. All you need to do is tighten up that retaining ring and that problem is gone.
It's a rather simple fix, to be honest, and it's not on you, by the way. That's not what I mean by this. It's a rather simple fix that I really thought more people would be able to figure out. But nonetheless, it is an issue. I think it's just, like you said, that retaining tab for some reason gets a little loose over time with all the bits. I mean, you're using it at least. You're using the tools.
I mean, that's a normal thing. It's a retaining ring that...
Which is why I thought it would be like a...
That can come loose over time.
Because obviously it's our product, but me not having the same mechanical brain that a lot of you do have because you work on products every day, or on tools every day. That was my first thought. That must be it. And then we figured out that wasn't, but I don't know.
Well, when I say a few, bringing attention to it makes it seem like everybody's having that problem.
No, we bring attention to anything that has 3 components.
I mean,
if there's 3 of them, that's too many.
You'd be surprised at how many of those we sell per year. And I mean, like, it's just a couple of people that have reached out with that issue. And I'm just telling you, as if you're a dealer watching and you have a customer that comes on the truck with that problem, you don't need to replace the head kit. Just, look at the video that we just showed, and that's the fix.
Honestly, we do that too much. We create a dumpster fire for like 4 complaints.
I know. I know.
But that is what we're used to. We're not used to getting 4 complaints even. So honestly, anything more than one odd person saying it makes it a concern, which is a good thing and a stressful thing.
Our defect rate is less than 1% on our entire hardline.
2%. It's 1.3% to be exact.
Okay, just about 1%. And that's very low. So anytime we bring up a problem, it's for a minority of people that have that problem. It's not like some widespread issue.
Yeah, we haven't had those yet. All right, so let's get into some questions here. Last week is it last week? Yeah, right? The hot wings thing? So it was last week?
Yep.
Oh, because we filmed it the week before Clay was here. That's why it feels so long ago. All right. So last week we posted the Hot Ones episode that we did where we took battery acid mixed with gasoline and put it in our mouths. No, but we tried a hotter flavor of wing while discussing new products that are existing. And as the wings got hotter, the tool got more complicated. And these jackholes put me at the end because I don't like spicy food like that. Like, I like spice. I like a little kick because it's flavored, it's good. Like, I love buffalo wing. I love all that.
Did you realize when I handed you that
Yeah, I
second...
knew it was.
Oh, okay.
I did it for them.
Oh, okay.
The people.
All right.
No, I knew what it was.
I thought you thought I was giving you like
And it doesn't get worse. Like, it was bad. It doesn't get worse. It just lasts longer at that point.
And did the milk help?
While it's in your mouth, it helps. As soon as you swallow it, it's over.
That's I know.
That's why I just sat there with it in my mouth for a little bit. It was crazy. Anywho, some questions that we had from that. We got some positive feedback. It was, to be honest, it sounded a little gross sometimes. I agree with a lot of you there. But for the most part, it got some positive feedback. These jackholes didn't want me to drink anything, even though Hot Ones lets guests drink or eat between wings and even keeps milkshakes in case it gets too hot. Y'all are liars, and I knew it, and I'm going to slap the hell out of both of you. I knew that was the case. I just didn't know enough about it to call them out on the spot.
This isn't Hot Ones. Okay.
The episode is called Hot Ones, and there's a logo on it. All right, so this was a funny comment, so I'm going to talk about it. For legal purposes, no, we cannot. But do you think we could get a head attachment for the TRK that's just a pimped out club? Like maybe a heavy metal ball with the Vim logo stamped in and a spike coming out of it. Not really useful, but man, would it be cool as hell to switch the ratchet head for an extendable mace head.
So a weapon.
Yeah, that's why I said for legal purposes, no. Cool. That would be neat. It would be cool to have a custom weapon. Anywho.
Honestly, they're releasing some type of attachment that isn't necessarily a tool, but more of like something to show, like just for fun. Could be cool.
Like what?
I don't know, I don't know. I gotta think about that one.
I mean, I get where you're going with it, but what?
I don't know, like the top of a cane or something. Like, you know how pimps have a cane, but you're using like the HDR 34K.
That thing weighs like 30 pounds. What are you talking about?
So.
Okay. Well, let's hear your comments. What would you like to see on the top of that? That's not a weapon. That would there's no way that you'd have like 10 people wanting it, and then you'd just be sitting on a bunch of jokes.
I know.
You've been to Daytona. Have you ever been to Hooligan Sports Grill? Delicious wings, home with the original grilled wing. What? Home with the original grilled wings?
I don't know. I went to a bunch of bars when I was in Daytona. I don't know if I stopped by there.
How do you claim you're home of the original grilled wing?
Maybe they are. I mean, Hooters is originally from Tampa.
Because you're originally Hooters. You can follow that back. How do you claim you're the first person to make a grilled wing?
Don't know. Don't know.
I'm interested. I don't not believe you, but I don't necessarily believe it. I am hungry.
I mean, that's like when you walk by a coffee shop and it says like world's best coffee.
Yeah, see, that's I almost immediately don't go there because of it. Like I don't know why, but it bothers me. It bothers me. Number one. Also, why is every movie the number one movie in America? Always. Always.
Maybe we should start doing that for like tools.
Number one tool in America. I found that you can just make baseless claims and nobody says anything. I love watching you guys eat. This is great. I feel that was sarcastic, and I still agree with you. It was gross. Are you going to make the Noras in an SAE? So, at the moment, it is not a future plan, but it is definitely a possibility. The issue with making the Noras in SAE is that obviously it's not a thing currently. So we have to pay for tooling. You have to go. It's a lot of costs into making it because it's not currently being made. So what that means is that you need to sell more to recover that, and you also need to figure out many.
With products like that, that's really a custom tool. Like a lot of the stuff we have is a custom product that is not in mass production. Like it's being made for us. Or like it's not mass production where the entire market's buying it. Like we're the ones selling it. So if we're working with a manufacturer, they're going to require that we produce more. We can't just do a small run of those tools.
Especially if tooling's not available, A. B, certain sizes are not available, so you got to pay for, if it's existing or tooling's existing, you have to pay for the sizes that aren't. But in this case, the whole thing would have to be paid for, and there's a lot of investment up front to get that part going. Now, do you make it a full range set or specific sizes? Because you got to obviously remember that they're not the cheapest tools. So it could be an expensive set, an SAE, that you wouldn't sell a lot of to begin with, and you need to sell more of to make your money back. So it becomes a business decision at that point. Not to say there isn't one, but what size ranges would you like to see in that Nora? Love my mag rails. The only complaint is that the pegs seem to strip out easily. Kind of wish they were aluminum instead of plastic. We did try that. We tried to make aluminum pegs. The problem with the aluminum pegs is that the pegs became expensive, almost too expensive for customers to want to buy them. So at the time, the rails came with pegs on them, and it raised the price of the rails because machining those little pegs in aluminum brought the price of the pegs up. So people were complaining about it, and that's why we went away from that. It's a possibility, but it becomes quite an expense.
Also,
They're no longer
we're hearing
add-ons.
a lot from dealers that their customers buy the rails
Without pegs. Which makes it hard to invest
They
in
don't want the pegs, which is interesting because I like having the pegs. I like having everything evenly spaced out and knowing that if I put something or if I snap it on sideways, it's there to support sockets from falling off or from sliding off the magnet.
Buffalo Wild Wings in Wisconsin is a hit or miss. Anyways, I love them. So the reason I read that and want to talk about it is that was my first time trying Buffalo Wild Wings. And to be honest, granted it was cold, so not fair, but not a fan. Was not a huge fan. Clay, I know it's your godsend. It's your bread and butter. You love the place, but it's not for me.
I don't really.
They were cold wings.
To eat wings, I don't really go to Buffalo Wild Wings. There are small, like hole-in-the-wall places. That's where you find the great wings, like Uncle Fat's and Peabody's.
I like Uncle Fat's.
You know what I mean? Those are the places you find really good wings, not the chains. Although Beef O'Brady's does have some good wings. Beef fries, curly fries. I don't usually order curly fries.
It's hard to. You can make good fries really easily. You just got to care a little bit.
If you mess up on fries,
it's because you don't give a shit.
If you mess up on fries,
it's really because
you got other problems.
You just don't care. That place is doomed. Soft grip extensions for those Noras would be amazing. And I don't think we didn't think about it. The issue you have with the soft grip extensions is that now you have a 3-piece kit, or because you could do 3 or 4 pieces. Anything less than that would be kind of silly, but you add that to the price of the kit, and now you're starting to get into the realm of a full wrench set. It gets a little bit more expensive, and price is already an issue. So you can bring it. I just don't think it would sell as well as most people think it would. It sounds cool, and I would like it, but I don't think certain people would spend the money on an extension with the grip.
Because it really only has that one use.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Sure, there's probably other things that you could use it for, but not many.
Exactly.
I don't think a lot of people would spring for it because it would not.
It wouldn't add a whole lot of value.
Yeah, to be honest, the Noras is probably not something that people are using all the time either. So those extensions would be used even less.
If you work long hours, you need stuff like this every once in a while to break it up. This was great. Thank you, because I agree with you. We normally do this type of format, and even though it is very productive and useful, and we get the point across, and it does it relatively quickly, every once in a while, we get freaking bored, and it becomes repetitive and more of a task that we have to do, which, it's a job at the end of the day. It's a job. But it does make it a lot more fun when you can work long hours and then end up doing something like that. It still gets something out of it work-related, so... Thank you.
And I was hungry. We were really hungry.
We were hungry.
And those wings were like a teaser because you could only eat one every 10 minutes.
Yeah, honestly, in between some of those, I was like, why are we not just eating the rest of them? This is ridiculous.
Yeah, we cut out a few times where I was like, I'm going for another wing. Fuck it.
We were hungry, and that was our dinner, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Anywho, I want to give a shout out to Mr. Chris Casey, because Chris, you always watch him and you always react based off of these videos in terms of product, and I just want to know. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. He's a comment on this. He commented that I wouldn't be sissy.
Let's get another training event down here.
If you haven't realized, we're getting more stupid as a society. But if you can capitalize off of that.
It's called brain rot.
It works. Spicy garlic from Hooters is the best. I've never had that. Might have to.
Spicy garlic sounds pretty good.
Best episode ever. This guy loved it. It's the worst episode. Are you kidding me? I have to lose 18 pounds before I go on a vacation and they're having wings.
Why do you have to lose 18 pounds before going on vacation?
What do you mean, bro? It's vacation. You want to show off that bod. I don't give a... Anyways, that was funny. Warning, do not touch your pee-pee before you wash your hands.
Did someone comment that, or oh?
That's funny. That is funny. The thing is, I can only imagine that you had it happen to you. Like this was from an experience type of comment, which I've never had to deal with that myself. Unfortunately for you, that sounds terrible.
Yeah, I've rubbed my eyes before after, and I've had like hot sauce on my hand.
I've done it with jalapenos from nachos. That was the worst. Oh my god! Now I remember that. It was a raw jalapeno.
Yeah.
And I touched it, and then at some point went like that, and I remember like, and it's like an
sucks.
oil too. It's like, oh no,
It sucks.
and it doesn't go away.
You can't open your eye.
It just doesn't go away. It's lingering. We need a Nora 150 XL. We need a Nora 150 XXL now. Okay, so 21 to 24 millimeters. I've heard that you need a 21 and a 24 millimeters. The 21 is possible. The 24 scares me. And I understand that that is a big ask, and the 21 is super popular. So it is something that we will consider bringing in, but the 24 is probably not happening just because you'd have to lessen the teeth and make it more clacky for that to actually hold up to the torque rating that we require in order to bring something out. But 21 may be the future. Tools and wings, can't go wrong with that. Well, that was everything. Honestly, that was a very engaging episode, and I'm very happy we did it, even though it was terrible. But yeah, and it broke this up a little bit, so it was fun for that. But now the warehouse tour that we did the week or the Friday before that, that's what I want to discuss because there was a big item in that episode, which was the coolers. Vim Tools is going to be bringing out some great merchandise for 2025. I recommend you stay tuned because you're going to want to get one or another because you're going to like a lot of stuff we're bringing in. We're probably going to add 15 to 20 SKUs of just straight merchandise that honestly I have hand chosen because I like using it. It's one of those, what do they call it? A guilty pleasure? Mm-hmm. When I am using a company's money to buy things that I like with their brand on it because it is cool. And hopefully you think it's cool. For instance, these coolers. I liked coolers. They were crazy expensive to get them through an Arctic or a Yeti, even at wholesale cost. Wholesale cost, it's like 10% off. With your name on it. So I said, why am I going to pay this premium to have their name and my name on it when I can go to a real cooler manufacturer, i.e., their cooler manufacturer overseas, and have them make a couple hundred for me with just my name on it. Granted, obviously we don't make coolers, we're having them made, but it will be in the same price range as some of those other brands. The Arctic more so than the Yeti. The Yetis it's a great product. I have some, but they're crazy. But those coolers were a hit on that video. A lot of people seem concerned about the black coolers getting too hot. I can assure you, it does hold ice all day, no problem, even if it's in the sun. I used a current black cooler that is that type on our boat for boat days. It's not a problem. The good thing is that you wash it off and you don't see anything on it. Really, you can't get it dirty. Now the green, I wasn't planning on bringing in the green just to have green tops, but it got a lot of comments here that people liked it. So maybe for a future limited run, we'll do green. But we do have those green ones downstairs that I am willing to raffle off on this show at some point. Once we get all those coolers in, you'll have the opportunity to win the first green Vim cooler.
Yeah, we're down here in Florida, okay? We get plenty of testing when it comes to the sun and coolers. So
I quite literally, I ice tested them.
Well, the other one's black, the one that floats, and we just let it float in the water.
Yeah, that's that one. That does the same thing. So
yeah, they don't get too hot.
They don't get, I mean, they get warm on the outside, but it's still, the foam is freaking, oh, something there. The foam is about yay thick, so it does hold, it insulates it perfectly. The outside color doesn't matter as much.
Yeah.
But I do understand the concern because it was the same one I had at the beginning. The backpack cooler is going to be really cool. The plan is to have the regular coolers available on our website and through wholesale distribution so that trucks have access to those backpack coolers. The regular coolers. The backpack coolers are a little bit more pricey, so to keep that price down, I think we're going to try to make them a website-only item. I guess you could buy them through wholesale, but they will. The issue is the price. The margins aren't there for that because they're a little pricier. But they will be available on the website, both of those, and you should be able to get them to distribution as well, both of them, at least a small one. All right, so that is all we have for Tool Tuesday today. Thank you for tuning in. Again, this was a more normal episode. You'll be seeing more of these to come, but you'll be seeing more of the less appreciated part of the line so that we can really give you an idea of everything we have to offer here at BIM.
Yep. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.
Peace.